Last year, everyone went crazy about the new Burberry launch, Goddess Eau de Parfum, and this year came out the first flanker, Goddess Intense. How do these two perfumes smell and perform? What are the similarities and differences? If you have one, do you need the other one as well? And are they worth the hype? You'll find out that and much more in this review. So welcome back. My nickname is Miri and here we talk in depth about fragrances. That's why first, just a few words about the bottle and the marketing and the ad of this perfume. I really like the simple, minimalistic and classic looking square flagon that is made from sturdy, thick glass, and it has golden medallion on the front. I like the bottle because it's quite easy to hold because the flagon is slightly curved or bended inward on the upper back part, so it nicely fits in the palm of your hand. The only difference between the Eau de Parfum and the Intense version is the Intense has slightly ambery colored juice. The ad tries to portray Goddess as a fragrance that will make you feel like a lioness who usually lives and moves in pride, and that's why lionesses represent the collective female strength and support. I love how eloquently Emma Mackey, Burberry's beauty ambassador, described the ad. She said, "Much like them," she means lionesses, "we stand on the shoulders of the women who came before us and those who bolster us throughout our own lives." To me, this image is a real source of empowerment. The visuals in the ad are just stunning, but what about the fragrance? First, I'll review the Eau de Parfum. The opening is nothing short of amazing. At the initial spray, I got a lot of smooth, sophisticated vanilla with a lot of lavender as well that gives herbaceous, woody, aromatic facets to the entire fragrance and prevents it from being gourmand, cakey, sugary, edible vanilla perfume. At the same time, there is undeniable freshness and some citrusy zinginess in the opening, similar to the scent of lemons, but I guess that is ginger that gives that freshness, brightness, airiness to the scent. Also in the background, I get bitter, slightly earthy cacao. It's simply there to deepen woody tonalities, making them smell almost like pencil shavings, but neither cacao, neither ginger overpower the vanilla lavender combo. The opening smells like you're sitting in a kitchen next to bunches of lavender hanging and drying on the wall while you're scraping vanilla seeds from the inside of the pod, and there are some grated lemon peels close by. Lavender has a soothing, calming effect, with ginger adding some invigorating lemony freshness, while vanilla envelopes all those notes in sweet, deep, fluffy, grown-up and somewhat airy warmth, so the scent isn't heavy, sticky sweet or nauseating at the top. Basically, this is a fresh, aromatic, woody take on the vanilla. I love how the opening smells. It's so smooth, it's beautifully blended, so there are no sharp edges there. Ginger and cacao go away in about 30 minutes of the wear, while vanilla becomes more and more prominent, but lavender hangs on for much longer, still adding herbaceous, woody and aromatic facets and making the scent a bit more interesting. Otherwise, this would be just a one-dimensional vanilla perfume. Vanilla caviar that is listed in the dry down sounded so intriguing, but when I googled it, it's basically a scent of vanilla bean seeds. So Goddess, as it dries down, it becomes richer, sweeter, creamier, heavier, and the pinch smokier and animalic in the background, but those are just tiny facets vanilla has in the dry down. In the air, Goddess smells like a velvety smooth texture of vanilla ice cream mixed with a few dried lavender flowers, while on my skin there are tiny traces of woody notes, so this smells like a mix of vanilla ice cream texture and the smell of dried lavender kept in a basket somewhere in the distance. I know many say they can't smell lavender in the Goddess Eau de Parfum, But truth be told, in the air, I can only smell this deliciously sweet vanilla, while on my skin, the scent has more prominent that woody aromatic lavender in the background, but lavender is much fainter compared to the opening because in the dry down, vanilla overtakes all other notes. I can understand why some were a bit underwhelmed when Goddess Eau de Parfum first launched because the opening is so interesting, it's so promising, but then the scent turns into a plain, sweet, creamy vanilla with subtle lavender undertones, and it feels like they put so much more thought, so much more effort in the opening, while the dry down is just, pretty smooth, cozy, creamy vanilla. Does it smell simple and will some find it boring? Well, it does and some will, but somehow it's incredibly beautiful, it's soothing in its simplicity, and I love lavender vanilla combination because Lieb and Mon Guerlain are one of my long-time favorite designer fragrances, so no wonder I really like Burberry Goddess as well, even though it's noticeably less floral and much warmer than the two I already mentioned. For me, Burberry Goddess is a success. It's incredibly easy to wear, it's a huge compliment getter, and every time I wore it, and that was like about 7-8 times, each time I got compliments, mostly from guys, so this seems to be a man magnet as well, and also because it's a simple, soothing vanilla scent, it would be a great layering option as well. I love the scent and I would rate it with 9 out of 10 because I wish the dry down was a bit more complex, but the opening, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And now let's talk about the new Intense version. At the initial spray, you get a blast of lavender that has minty freshness and herbaceous, woody, almost camphoric-like qualities. So initially, it might startle you because lavender is loud, it's sharp, but there is underlying vanilla in the background, even though lavender is much stronger. So the opening smells like you put your nose really close to lavender buds cut in the lavender field and stored in a wooden basket. So your nostrils are filled with aromatic and woody lavender mixed with earthy and green minty flavor coming from the lavender field and green stems of not fully matured lavenders. Before making this review, I went to check the notes on Fragrantica and I was really shocked by the low ratings this perfume got. So I started reading the reviews to find out what's the reason for such low ratings. The common thread was the strong opening that to some smelled medicinal, while minty flavor of the lavender reminded some of the toothpaste. The opening gives off masculine vibe, and no wonder because lavender is usually used in men's fragrances and here it's very prominent. For me, the opening wasn't that sharp, and maybe the reason is because I got my bottle like 3 weeks ago before I went on vacation, so I didn't have the chance to try it out. And when I got back, when I applied it on my skin as a lavender lover, I truly enjoyed it. I didn't find it medicinal or toothpaste-like. It smells like the scent of lavender buds, smelled really up close, so maybe you just need to give it some time to juice to settle. I think most negativity comes from unfulfilled expectations. Many probably thought Intense will be intensified vanilla fragrance, but instead it's packed with lavender. Also, people are judging this fragrance based on the first 5 minutes of the wear and the opening. That is the most fleeting part of any fragrance, but give it a chance to dry down because after 10 to 15 minutes, vanilla truly comes out and smoothens the scent. Lavender remains present throughout the wear, always giving aromatic flavor and balancing the sweetness. That's why Burberry Goddess Intense, even though it turns into a vanilla prominent fragrance, it isn't your average type of vanilla perfume, and also It's not a fluffy, soft, comforting vanilla perfume you got in the original Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum. Trio of vanillas from the original was amplified here with a fourth type of vanilla called bourbon vanilla that has like a smoky character, and it intensifies the woody lavender aromas, making this into a sexy grown-up vanilla fragrance. Therefore, in the dry down, vanilla becomes the star of the show while lavender and patchouli are in the background. But patchouli is never in your face, and even though I'm not a fan of patchouli, I'm okay with it in this fragrance. Here patchouli gives some chocolatiness to the smoky vanilla, and also in combination with lavender that brightens the scent with its floral minty freshness. Patchouli amplifies the lavender's spicy, woody, earthy aromas, so this vanilla isn't a plain and basic one. It has depth and a sexy edge. It smells like you're taking a break from cutting lavenders in the field, and now you're enjoying the sweet taste of vanilla bean fudge and mint tea served on the wooden table in the middle of the lavender field. This is a very beautiful and woody, slightly earthy minty vanilla with a smoky twist. It's riskier than the Eau de Parfum because lavender and patchouli can be polarizing notes. It seems like Burberry really listened to reviews after launching Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum because people complained that the original didn't have enough lavender, that they couldn't smell it, so they amplified lavender in the intense. Also, many complained that the vanilla dry down in the original is too simple, it's too basic, so they added patchouli and a touch of smoky allure to the intense version. And now people are complaining that the intense is too different from the original and too woody. Well, you can't always please everyone, and if you're watching this review, test this fragrance for yourself regardless of the reviews and give it some time to develop because, well, first impressions aren't always accurate. This is a good release in my opinion. I really enjoy it and I would rate its scent profile with 8 out of 10. If these reviews were helpful, informative, and enjoyable so far, then boop the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content coming up. And now let's compare the two of them. Both feature aromatic vanilla lavender combinations, but they're quite different. The difference in the opening is that the Intense doesn't have cacao and ginger the original Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum has, and instead it's focused only on lavender. While the original has lemony aromatic vanilla opening, because ginger added that addictive citrusy zestiness that made the whole vanilla lavender opening so much lighter, so much fresher and airier. In the Intense version, the focus is only on lavender and its aromatic, minty, herbal and woody qualities. In the Dry Down, the Eau de Parfum is basically a rich vanilla-centered fragrance with some lavender and woody hues to add some texture, while in the Intense, they added patchouli and smoky facets of bourbon vanilla to make the dry down more complex and interesting. I wish that instead of patchouli, that can be quite a turn-off for a lot of people, they intensified the cacao in the original since it's not very prominent there and made Intense into a more cacao-ish, chocolatey version of the Eau de Parfum. But just because they didn't doesn't mean the Intense doesn't smell good. It does. So the difference is that the original has a very sweet vanilla dry down with bits of lavender, while Intense becomes a woody, earthy, minty smelling, slightly smoky vanilla that is darker and more mature compared to the Eau de Parfum. For that reason, the Eau de Parfum is sweeter, brighter, more vanillic and more citrusy in the opening, while the Intense version is woodier, darker, earthier and more aromatic. Vanilla in the original feels soft, fluffy, airy and creamy, and and it has incredibly addictive quality, while vanilla in the Intense is sweet but not like tooth-aching sweet fragrance. It's denser, it's warmer, deeper, smokier, and more grown-up. So somehow in the process, it lost a bit of that addictiveness the original has, but it gained some sensual allure. If you compare how lavender smells in these two fragrances, in the Eau de Parfum, lavender gives just a slight aromatic, herbaceous, and woody facets. It's much more tamed, it's much more subtle compared to the Intense flanker, where lavender is very strong, very prominent, and very woody with a fresh menthol-like quality. That's why they have a different vibe when you wear them. The Eau de Parfum feels cozier, softer, calmer, and snuggly. It's the epitome of the girl next door who is liked by everyone because she has natural charm, while the Intense is like her more rebellious and hotter sister who loves going to nature to enjoy woody and floral aromas in its entirety. So Intense is richer and it will make you feel sexier and more confident, grown up and serious compared to the Eau de Parfum. If you consider wearability, Eau de Parfum is an all year round fragrance with signature scent quality, but in the summer it would be better for night occasions, while the Intense is better suited for fall and winter months. The original is a feminine perfume that will work for any age because it's not too mature, nor does it have candy, sugary sweetness characteristical for perfumes marketed towards teenagers. On the other side, Intense is also a feminine perfume, but it feels more gender neutral, especially compared to the sweet Eau de Parfum, so I could potentially imagine it on a man as well. Thus, the name Goddess kind of sounds ironic in this new Intense flanker, but the Intense part is accurate because this is stronger and deeper version of the original. So Goddess Intense is a unisex 25 plus fragrance because it somehow has a bit more serious and grown-up feel. Eau de Parfum is very versatile, everyday perfume, suitable for various occasions from casual outings to office wear or even formal evening events. On the other side, even though I would wear it during the day as well, Intense is a nighttime perfume because it's darker, it's deeper, it's woodier, so it would be especially fitting when you're dressing up for a night out. So in the end, the Eau de Parfum is a crowd-pleasing and mass-appealing fragrance, and it's very hard to imagine anyone disliking this scent profile. While Intense isn't a safe blind buy, it's not a perfume for everyone, so definitely try it out before purchasing the full-size bottle. Considering the performance, the Eau de Parfum lasts about 7 hours on my skin with soft to moderate projection for the first few hours, and then it turns into a skin scent, but on close it lasts for days. The sillage is moderate as well, so others will smell it on you. The scent will get you compliments, but at the same time it won't be too intrusive for others, and therefore I would rate the performance of the Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum with 7 out of 10. On the other hand, Intense is truly an intense fragrance. It lasts way longer than the original. I easily get up to 10 hours of longevity on my skin with initially very strong projection, and then it turns into a moderate projecting fragrance, but on close it lasts and lasts for days. I sprayed it yesterday morning on my skin when I went grocery shopping, and when I returned home several hours later, the entire hallway still smelled like Goddess Intense. That's why it deserves 10 out of 10 for its performance. And finally, which one is better? Do you need both? And if you don't, which one would you prefer? They're about 80% the same in my opinion, so you could have them both because they have different scent profiles and different effect when you wear them. If you don't mind simple vanilla perfume with an aromatic edge and you just want to smell good without challenging or complicated notes, you just need something easy to wear that has mass appealing effect that will get you compliments, then Burberry Goddess is the right choice. As the overall score from the scent profile and performance, Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum gets 8 out of 10. Goddess Intense has the same DNA like Burberry Goddess Eau de Parfum, but if you found the original too simple, too basic, if you love patchouli and lavender, then the Intense will be just your cup of tea. It's very easy to get into hype or hating certain fragrance without even giving it a full-time wear or several tries, especially when everyone on social media is promoting just one side or the other. But this is a good release. It's not amazing, but it's a good release. And surprisingly, it has higher overall score. It gets 9 out of 10 because it's much stronger. So scent-wise, which one is better in my opinion? It's the Eau de Parfum. But performance-wise, Eau Intense is so much stronger. But what do you think about these two perfumes? How would you rate their scent profile? Let me know in the comments. Also share how they perform on you and which vanilla you enjoy more, the cozy, simple Eau de Parfum or darker, woodier, intense version. I can't wait to read your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video if it has been helpful and descriptive. If you would like to watch another in-depth perfume comparison video, then you need to check this video next. I will see you there. Bye!